welcome back to another video. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys are having an amazing day or an amazing night, whatever time it is that you're watching this video. As you guys see by today's title of the video, we are going to be going over the top 5 best cheap mods for the Infiniti Q50. I actually get these type of questions asked a lot, so I thought why not make a whole YouTube video about it and tell you guys what is the best, in my opinion, cheap mods for this car. All right, just like that, we transported to the parking structure. This is actually the same parking structure where I filmed one of my other videos, one of my other informative videos that I do. I thought, why not come back here? Also, if you guys see the car a little bit dirty, I am sorry. It's been raining where I live. I was gonna wash it, but it's supposed to rain like tomorrow, I think, so not really a point to. Oh, it's not too dirty though. I don't even think the camera will really catch it. Hey, sick. What the f... There you go. All right, so let's go ahead and get on with this video. I hope there's no wind noise, and if there is, I truly apologize. But let's get on with this video. So the top 5 cheapest mods you could do to the Q50, in my opinion. These are all mods that are done to my car currently, and honestly I feel like they make the car 100 times better. Stock, these cars, I'm not gonna say they look like grandma cars, but they kind of do look like grandma cars. So I feel like with these simple little mods you could really transform these cars. So for the first thing, I'm gonna come back here to the exhaust. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to drive quiet cars. Therefore, I need to have an exhaust of some sort. This exhaust was only $100, so it's a muffler delete. Honestly, actually, I think it was less than that. I think it was like $90. Literally just cutting off the mufflers and replacing the mufflers with a straight pipe, pretty much. And honestly, just the muffler delete itself actually sounds pretty good. You get it done at any one of your local muffler shop. So that, in my opinion, was number 1. That's the first mod that I do on all my cars, to be honest. That's actually the first mod that I did on my Z as well. I had the muffler delete for probably like a month, but then I got tired of it and ended up getting an actual exhaust. Similar to this car, I actually had an exhaust on it, but I took it off just because it was a Tome and it hung way too low. So I put the muffler delete setup back on. But anyways, that's number 1. So number 2, I would have to go with something that's also on the exhaust: test pipes. So these test pipes that I have, they're making racing test pipes. They were only $250, I think it was. So relatively cheap, not too expensive, and I mean they make the car faster and a bit louder. So far in the exhaust system, I only have about like $400, $350, $400 invested into it, and it sounds pretty good. Obviously, it's not gonna sound as good as like an ARC exhaust or like a more than exhaust, but for $350, it's not too bad. For those of you guys that are looking for a good exhaust and are on a budget, I would 100% recommend this one. Test pipes, stock resonators, stock white pipe, muffler delete. It sounds pretty good for what it is, and it's very cheap, like I said. So for number 3, we're gonna move on to the suspension part of the car. A cheap modification that you could do to lower these cars are lowering springs. So currently I am on RSR down lowering springs. Those are about like $250, $300. So relatively cheap in comparison to like coilovers, which are like anywhere from like $600 to like over $1,000. Obviously these aren't gonna slam your car like coilovers would, but I mean it lowers it a good amount. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. Obviously the fitment is not as good as my Z, which has coilovers, but I mean I don't really complain. For $250, I can't really complain myself. This is definitely necessary when building a car. Suspension, in my opinion, is a very, very important part to building a car. If you're on a budget and you don't want to spend the extra money on coilovers, I would definitely do lowering springs. But whatever you do, do not cut or melt your springs. I've seen a lot of people do that just to go on the cheaper side. They'll cut their springs out of like a muffler shop or something, or melt them, and the ride is horrible. Please don't do that. Yes, your car will be lowered and slammed for like $100 to $200, but it's gonna ride horribly. Please don't do that. And for number 4, we're gonna talk about wheels. So obviously wheels can get very, very expensive. I mean, anywhere from $500 to $5,000 easily. So these wheels, they're not too cheap, but they're not too expensive either. They're RPF ones. They are black chrome, so they are a little bit more expensive than like the silver ones. but these are about like $1,800, $2,000. So I'm not considering this a cheap mod, but you could always get some wheels for like $600 to like $800. A lot of people tend to bash on those type of wheels, which are rep wheels. I get it. I mean, obviously rep wheels aren't going to be as good as the authentic ones, but I mean, we all start somewhere, you know. I don't understand why people like to bash on other people for having these type of wheels. There's literally nothing wrong with rocking a set of rep wheels. That's one thing that you really need when modding a car is wheels. I mean, obviously depending on your budget, if you want to do reps, or these are honestly very cheap real wheels. You get like the silver ones or black ones for like $1,000, $1,200, and for all 4 wheels, I mean, it's not too expensive, I would say. Or like I said, get like some $600 ones. I actually had a set a couple months ago just because I really needed a set of wheels and I couldn't find any good ones on Marketplace. So I ended up buying some new rep wheels that I got rid of like probably like 2 weeks after I bought them. I'll insert a picture here. But I paid like $660, I think, for all 4. So that's really, really cheap for a brand new set of wheels. And I mean, it looks better than stocks, in my opinion at least. So far we got the 2 exhaust components, we got the suspension, and we got the wheels. And for the 5th and last cheap mod that I would do on this car is a front lip. So I feel like a front lip really does make the front end look so much meaner, so much better. And this was only $100. For a 1-piece lip, $100 is a pretty good deal in my opinion. I mean, like I said, it makes the car look a lot better. There is like 3-piece lips on like OfferUp or like eBay or whatever that are like $30. Trust me, don't get those. I got those. All of them have broke off on me. They've all flown away from, like on the freeway. Don't get those. Invest in a 1-piece lip. Like I said, I mean, I think $100 is fair for something like this. Obviously it's not carbon fiber, it's not all crazy, but for $100, I mean, you could scrape this thing all day and nothing's gonna happen to it. I feel like that's one thing that is very necessary with these cars. It just makes it look so much better than without a lip. So although that does conclude the 5 cheap things, I do want to add one thing that really changed my car. It really woke up my car when I did this. It's not too cheap, so that's why I didn't really want to include it, but I thought, why not throw like a bonus one that's, I guess, a little bit more expensive, and that would be a tune. So I'm currently 91 tuned with my boys over at E-Class Tunes. The car is street tuned, so it's not as expensive as a dyno tune. So for about $800 to $1,000, you could tune these cars and get all the maps, at least with my guy. So you would get performance, popcorn, flame map, anti-theft map, etc. Whatever else that you want, pretty much. And honestly, it wakes up the car a lot more. I'm not gonna sit here and say this car is super fast, but I mean, honestly, for what it is, it's pretty fun. And I mean, it defends itself, I guess, for what it is. So pretty much performance wise, what I have done to this car is the $350 exhaust setup or whatever, the tune, which is like another $1,000. So for $1,300, the car sounds better, performs a lot better, shoots flames, and it's just all around a way funner drive. Like I said, when you buy these cars stock, they're very nice, don't get me wrong. I love, like when this car was stock, I loved it, but it's kind of boring. It kind of feels like a grandma car. It feels like you're borrowing your grandma's car. So I feel like with these mods, especially the exhaust, at least, it really does wake up the car and make it sound better, make it funner, and just improves the whole driving experience. But yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. Those were, in my opinion, the top 5 cheapest mods you should do to this car. Once again, it was the whole exhaust setup, the test pipes, the muffler delete, the lowering springs, wheels of any kind, and a front lip. Oh, and the tune, but I mean, it's not really a cheap mod, so. But look, Q50. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video was helpful. I know a lot of you guys hit me up on Instagram, hit me up in the comments, what's like the best first mod, what are some cheap mods you could do. So I really hope this video helped and answered some questions. Camera just died. But as I was saying, I hope this video helped for those of you guys that have ever had this question or that currently have this question. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me, subscribe if you're new, hit that bell button so you guys can be alerted whenever I post. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.